I'm LA mayoral candidate Paulie Amori. Welcome back to another edition of Getting Candid with the candidates over coffee. Today I'll be speaking with fellow mayoral candidate Mitchell Schwartz. Now, Mitchell has worked behind the scenes on many campaigns, from President Obama to President Clinton, before deciding to run his own campaign for mayor of LA. What prompted you to go from running campaigns to starting one of your own?
Yeah, I never thought that I'd actually run for office. I feel like I have the experience to do the job, I have the energy, and I'm not looking for anything out of this. I'm not looking to be a career politician. And what I see is a city that, in spite of a relatively good economy, is becoming hollowed out, that it's become really hard for regular folks, very few families, very few middle-class people. And a great city, to me, has all races, religions, socioeconomic folks. It can't just all be rich or poor, young or old. And it upsets me to see us just kind of sliding downhill a little bit with big signs of decay, record homelessness, and a city hall that seems a little bit removed from the regular citizens. People saying City Hall's just not listening to them.
So we end up with a city who is not paying attention, who doesn't know that there's an election happening.
People should be involved. I mean, first and foremost, it's not hard to find out when the election is. The newspapers in this city has done a very, very poor job of covering it. And then the TV stations, they don't really examine the serious issues. And they used to have political reporters that would do a lot of coverage.
It's hard to be apathetic when you don't even know something's happening.
Right. Turnout is exceptionally low. Now, people seem much more energized by politics these days.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that they'll realize, okay, vote. The first part of being a citizen is to vote.
Of the other candidates, you've raised the most money opposite Garcetti. What do you think about private money in campaigns, and where should candidates be getting their money to run?
I took a pledge that I'm not going to take developer money or money from PACs. And I had to return a bunch of money that I'd raised from some developers who were friends of mine and just gave me because we're friends. I want to remove any hint that my actions are due to the influence of money.
You've taken this pledge that you won't be focused on re-election, you'll be focused on doing the job.
I call it the politician's disease. Their number one desire is about staying in office or getting to higher office. You won't take on these tough issues because you know you'll make enemies, which will hurt you in your future races.
First and foremost, the constituents, the people. That has to be number one.
And that, to me, is what takes courage. It takes some courage to stand up to all these people trying to get something from you or from City Hall that's not for the benefit of the people.
The environment is something you've been a big champion of for many years, and you're seeing that as having direct implications. For instance, the Porter Ranch incident.
So Aliso Canyon had big leaks. Thousands, over 10,000 people had to move. Now they move back. They want to reopen it, which in my mind is crazy. They don't know what caused the leak. It should be shut down, period. I support the group Stand LA, which is calling for a buffer between houses, parks, schools, whatever, and these drilling sites. See, she hates it too. My dog hates it. Fluffy hates it too.
Fluffy for the environment. I'm curious to hear what you think we need to do to solve homelessness.
We're not creating enough housing, and we're ripping out affordable housing and replacing it with luxury housing. So there are people that are just economically homeless. So we have to help them from the start not get evicted, have more housing so it's not too expensive. By the way, we can get all the veterans homeless off the street right now by putting them in the Veterans Affairs campus. The fact that it's not done is terrible.
I agree.
Terrible, terrible. Well, what do you think about this stuff? What kind of solutions do we have?
I'm very much housing. I believe that's the only way to go. And I believe that one of our responsibilities is to help take care of those people who just need love.
I agree with you. I mean, and we're certainly a rich enough society that we could afford this.
It costs the city more to have people clogging the ERs, to have the police have to be the custodians of the homeless.
I want my focus of the campaign to be on creating new units, because that's the only way we'll solve the affordable housing shortage and reduce rents and also reduce homelessness. I want to put the incentives in there for the private sector to do it and then give subsidies to the homeless.
One of my campaign issues is actually about trying to find the love again for the film industry.
But yeah, that's a big one. That's our number one industry. We should be nurturing it.
We should find the love for film.
Find the love for it in a big way. Yeah, love them to death.
So what do you think? Do we need love in politics?
I think the country needs it. I think our politicians need it. And everything's so polarized now. People are so quick to want to fight with you about stuff. It shouldn't be a blood sport, but it too often is.
It feels really good when you come from love, when you come from an authentic, heartfelt place. I think people want to come from that place. If we use love as a core value, it becomes, I like to say that love becomes your true north. It always points you in the right direction. And then, of course, the way we comport ourselves in a campaign. Here we are having a very civil discourse, even though we're running opposite each other. Shouldn't that be how it's done?
And when it's done, you get behind the other person You know, whoever wins, I'm going to support that person. We need the return of civility. People need to respect other people's opinions and listen a little more. And I'm just as guilty. I got to listen more.
It's amazing what the power of listening does for people. And acknowledgement.
If you're doing things from a place of love, it's much different than if you're doing it from advancement or self-gain. And I feel it's coming from the right place, that I love this city.
I think your policies certainly express your love of the city.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
What made you decide to run? Like, what was the inspiration for the Love campaign?
As I was looking at this very bitter election cycle, there was so much time spent on anger and division. I thought, man, if the world needs one thing now, it needs more love. And this idea of voting for love might be something that could actually really be practical.
So I have a song for your campaign.
Please.
What the world needs now
Is
love, sweet love. I'm not the first one to tell you that.
No, you're not, but I know the song.
And are you enjoying the campaign?
It's been the great work of my life.
Wow.
I don't have to win for love to win. And that's how I truly feel.
Look, I hope you're successful in this. We could use a lot more of it in
right back
campaigns,
at
in the
you.
world, in every which way.
And how can people find out more about your campaign?
So please go to schwartzformayor.com, and I'll try to add a section on love by the time you get there.
I love it. Perfect. Thank you so much for taking
Thank
the
you.
time. Thank you.